Let's talk about finals week, shall we? Hey guys, it's Marina, and today we're going to be talking about how my first semester of finals was like and things to expect when you're going to an art college working on finals. For people who watches my videos might notice that, Marina, why the hell are you talking in the dark? Well, number one, I'm literally filming this at midnight. I was like getting ready to bed and I just had this sudden urge of wanting to take a video. And number two is that the thought of like finals is kind of like spooky and it's kind of like a dark moment in your life, so I decided to like match the atmosphere with it. This is gonna be a pretty long video, so I do have a cup of tea with me here, and if you guys would want to grab a snack or a drink or a sketchbook and just draw with me while I chat with you guys, then feel free to do that anytime. But anyways, so finals week. Okay, to my surprise, I thought finals was gonna be like way worse, like way worse. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I did pull out an all-nighter, and I did cry like once, twice, maybe three times. But this whole finals week experience made me realize that if you have a support group with friends who is experiencing the same thing, and if you believe in yourself and know that you have the guts to pull through it, there's really isn't like nothing to worry about. And before getting into the whole finals week explanation, I wanted to address quickly that it is okay if your work turns out as shit, okay? Most of the people think that going to an art college means that you're gonna be making wonderful, eye-catching, amazing, portfolio-worthy masterpieces 24/7, but in reality, that's just not gonna happen. Like, there is gonna be times when you make something and think that this is absolute crap and you're freaking out because you're on a harsh deadline and you're just like starting to have like these intrusive thoughts that you just want to restart from the beginning and just erase what you just started with. But for me, at least, the whole point of going to an art college is for you to grow and acknowledge that you could do so and so better and apply that to your next work. And to be honest, like you did put in all of your effort in that one piece, so it wasn't all for just nothing. So, yeah, I just wanted people to realize that because I did put myself down on it and to the point where it actually kind of hurted me thinking that if I'm feeling stressful right now, how would I feel during my junior and senior year of college? But it did make me feel better seeing that all my friends are experiencing this, all the art college YouTubers are experiencing this, and that I'm not the only one who's experiencing these feelings, and that we're all on the same boat. Anyway, so for my first semester, I took a total of 5 classes: a visualization and representation class, aka a drawing class, a light color and design class, a space forms and process class, themes in arts and culture class, aka art history, and a liquor class. And I'm not gonna really explain my literacy and critical studies English class or my art history class since both of them were just centered around like presentations and endless amount of writing. And I feel like most of you guys just want to hear my art studio finals, so I'm just gonna get right into it, starting with my drawing class. For my final project for my drawing class, we had to do a self-portrait using charcoal surrounding on the theme of what inside and outside meant for us. And when I got this assignment, y'all, I did not know where to begin. Like, I did not know where to start or how to start drawing this assignment until my professor explained to us that inside and outside can mean different things. For example, it can center around religious or cultural identity, or it can touch upon gender of how someone who is a woman might present themselves more masculine looking and vice versa. And after like listening to the professor speaking on what inside and outside meant for them, it really helped me to really think about myself and how to approach this drawing. This final also required us to use charcoal, and I I wouldn't say hate, but I dislike using charcoal, not because it gets all over your hands and it's just messy, but just because of how fragile the material is. Like, hold on guys, hold on just a second. Okay, so these are like the charcoal that we're using. So this is my favorite type of charcoal. Like, this is the black pastel charcoal, and the reason why I like about it is that like these are really hard to break unless you just like snap it off with using both of your hands. But look how thick that is, and it also gives off like the same effect of what a normal charcoal would do. Like, this is my BFF, guys. But I'm talking about like these babies right here. Like, this is called the vine charcoal, and this is called the normal pencil charcoal, where you could just like peel this string down and it'll just like peel on itself. But these babies are like super super fragile. Like before they hit the goddamn floor, I already know that it's gonna break. And for the pencil charcoal, it doesn't just break here, okay? It breaks all the way down here. And it just annoys me how I also have to like peel this off to actually get the inside of the charcoal, where in the pastel charcoal, you could just go right ahead. You could use the wider end, and if you want to make like a thinner line, you could just use like the tip of it. It's just so much more better. Maybe it might be a skill issue, but I don't know. But when I heard that this project was gonna be used in charcoal, guys, I was like,
no, God, please, no, 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 no.
This charcoal self-portrait also had other requirements. Like it cannot be a straight-on self-portrait because that's just boring as fuck, and it also had to have like an interesting perspective, and we needed to set up with props and a background patterns that were meaningful and symbolic. And the final requirement, the cherry on top, was to include 3 mirror reflections, including ourselves in the self-portrait. So when I was like thinking of what to do for my final drawing, I decided to do my Japanese American identity, since that was very important to me. And additionally, with our drawing, we also had to write like a small mini reflection of what the drawing meant for us. So this is my final piece. My final piece represents my identity as a Japanese American. Even though I was born and raised in America and lived in New York City for my whole life, I connect more to my Japanese roots than the American side of me. However, there was a period of time when I was questioning if I can say that I am Japanese. One of the reasons was when I had a conversation with a native Japanese person. They looked kind of confused because looks-wise, I have a Japanese face, but I guess my vibe or the way I presented or carried myself was not quote-unquote Japanese. And also the way I spoke. From this small interaction, I had a thought in my head asking myself, well, what am I? Later on, I got to confirm and have pride that I am Japanese, as I grew up more and commuted to a Japanese school for 13 years thanks to my parents. I realized that I am connected to Japan more than I thought I was, and realized how beautiful cultural differences are. In my piece, I added a lot of symbols that represent my Japanese culture. For example, the koi fish on the floor, the folded origami crane, a drawing of myself eating rice with chopsticks, and the image of myself doing shodo, aka Japanese calligraphy, in the mirror. Additionally, in the doorframe, I added the Tokyo Tower, which is one of the famous tourist spots in Japan. To me, the thought of inside and outside revolves around my Japanese American identity. So yeah, that was my final for my drawing class. Now moving on to my light color and design class. For my final project, we had to create a 2D physical object, not including animations, that shows a sequence. For this project, surprisingly, I had an idea right in my head. If you guys know Fruits magazines, then you might know a little bit about Japanese street fashion, which I was super duper interested in researching for this project. I wanted to create a zine where it represents multiple subcultures in Japanese street fashion, including Decora fashion, Visual Kei fashion, Mori Kei fashion, and so on. At first, I wanted to just do like a big zine with like multiple pages of like my own characters wearing the kind of fashion for like just one singular page per subculture. But when I brought this up to my professor, they actually wanted me to create 3 zines instead of just one, because they thought that creating 3 zines with just one zine being each of the subculture would help me dive into the subculture more, instead of just having one subculture in each page, which I understand, but like we only had like 3 weeks to work on this project, and to me I thought like creating 3 zines in 3 weeks was kind of tight for me. And do you guys think Marina finished all 3? Nope, not at all. I finished 1 zine based on decor fashion, which is technically my fault for not managing my time well, but this is the final zine that I finished. It has Decora on the top as the title and my name on the bottom. In the inside, it has all of what makes Decora fashion, like the excessive jewelry, the hair clips, the headwear, or like the fashion in general, and how like unique it is. And I love how like this page came out of like suggestions and advice if you want to create a Decora look. And most of the drawings I did on Procreate. And if you open this zine up, it on the back it has like the history of decor fashion all like written down. So yeah, And I was like pretty happy of how it came out because this was my first zine ever, and it was fun, it was enjoyable, but damn, I have to make use of my time better. Finally, my space form and process class. Now, this class is my personal favorite because there's just so much freedom and you could use any material as long as it just follows the theme and follows some of the requirements. But the professor is also so sweet and so understanding, and there's just like so many good things to address about them. Like, I love them so much. But my final SFP project was called Site Specific Art. Site Specific Art is basically, as the name suggests, art that it's integrated in its location. And for this project specifically, we had to choose a location in the Pratt campus and just make art utilizing that area. In the Pratt campus, there's this building called the Design Building, which has a Starbucks and a tea making place on the first floor of it. And I wanted to choose that specific location because one of how efficient it is, since my class is literally on the basement of the design building, and number two, because of how it connects to my idea of creating a life-size person made out of like energy drink bottles or like Starbucks coffee cups and basically anything what an art student drinks. To show this long-lasting relationship with drinks, I wanted to create a person who's like almost crawling towards like an illuminated coffee cup created by what my friends in my cohort is drinking. So I asked all my friends in my cohort to save their drinks and keep the material of it and just give it to me whenever they're done drinking with it. And for the skeleton of this person, I actually did not know what to use at first. I thought I should use wire, but then my friend Ari suggested me to just use saran wrap and just like wrap my body with saran wrap and just like cut it through so I could have like the actual form of what like a human body looks like, which was a great advice because here is the image of what it came out. It made it looked super realistic looking to a point where it actually looked like I had dismembered body parts all over on the floor. But that was actually what I was like going for, to make it like a little more realistic looking. So thank you, Ari, so much for that advice. And here's the final result. This piece represents artists' relationship with drinks. At first, I only chose the Starbucks area in the design building specifically because I felt that Starbucks or Illy's is a necessity for everyone in our college campus to get their favorite brew, coffee, or tea to get them through their day. However, when researching, I found out that while there is some contradicting evidence, if coffee or other drinks enhances creativity, it makes people focus and concentrate more to their work. This is where I got my idea personally, as getting a simple coffee with my friends can help me get through the day. In the last class, we got the chance to show off our work and have like a critique for the last project, and everyone did so well. Like, I loved everyone's work. I especially loved one of my friends, Tyler's work. He crocheted these tiny cute rats, and the number of how much people there are in our cohort. And after the critique was over, he actually gave them to us. And look at how cute this rat is. Like, I'm so inspired and amazed with people who can actually like know how to crochet and make like these cute little things. And this guy's just like chilling on my shelf the whole entire time. Like, it's so cute. But yeah, it was just like that class is just so fun. Oh, and also I forgot to mention this, but that day when we were showcasing our like work on Friday, me and a couple of friends actually stayed over the whole entire night in the design building. Like, here is a photo of me that one of my friends took of me sleeping on the cold ass floor with my friend's blanket. Thank you, Pia, so much for the blanket. But we were on our low, guys. Like, we were struggling so much. But yeah, we made it. We gone over it. So yeah, that just sums up everything that I did for my finals week. And watching all the finals vlogs that I saw on YouTube and actually becoming a college student now, I was like so scared of experiencing what finals week was like, and it did felt like forever, but having like a good support system with like friends and actually finishing finals week made me feel like super proud of myself. And if you're going through finals week, know that you can also gone through it. You might shed a tear here and there, but know that it is gonna end and it's gonna be okay. Till then, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye!